You know what? I don't really want to deal with whether or not we're going to hell in a nuclear handbasket. We've got two certifiable lunatics in a war of words. It's entirely problematic, unpredictable. I don't want to add to the speculation. But there are some areas of human concern which need to be dealt with, and they've been lost in the quagmire of obliterating idiocy. So, for example, the man who could be described as the International Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs for the United Nations made a speech several days ago in which he emphasized certain humanitarian emergencies, like the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where violence used to be confined to the eastern region, but now what he describes as hideous violence has spread throughout the entire country. There are 7 million people in need of humanitarian assistance. 1.5 million of them are children. There are 35 million people in that huge country who are now at risk of malaria, of measles, of cholera, of yellow fever. It's so bad that at the beginning of the year, the United Nations asked for $800 million for the Congo, and they have received less than a quarter of the money. Never mind the figures, you get the point. So too, apparently, with the Central African Republic, a much smaller population, but disintegrating into the most horrific violence, verging on ethnic cleansing in places, and there are intimations of genocide so bad that at the beginning of the year, they asked for $500 million for the Central African Republic and have received at this point less than a quarter of what was required. It's August already. You get the point, never mind the numbers. And then I was thinking about Yemen, a country that has virtually been annihilated by the conflict generated by Saudi Arabia. The whole country is devastated. It's a country in total of 27 million people. 2/3 of them are in need of humanitarian assistance. 10 million people in an acute state. So bad, so appalling that at the beginning of the year, the UN asked for $2 billion for Yemen. They have received less than a quarter of the money. And just yesterday, UNICEF made a statement on Jordan. Over 600,000 Syrian refugees have poured into Jordan. 1/3 of them are children. Jordan just can't cope. Its health, its nutrition, its education. Again, so appalling, so bad. Everybody knows what's going on with Syria and refugees that at the beginning of the year, $4 billion was requested. They have received 11% of the funds. You see, we seem to have a lot of money in the rich world for weapons, but very little for humanitarian needs. And while these two certifiable jerks run off at the mouth, human needs are abandoned. That was last week. I'm Stephen Lewis.